Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And guys, you're with me, Mike Spider Slayer. And guys, bringing you another comic book review. Now, my last review, you might have seen it, and it was this book right here, which was Spider-Man, or the Marvel Knights Spider-Man, #1 of 5. I was so crazy about that comic, I actually threw it down in almost anger, and I actually shut off the camera. So I apologize about that, and it kind of cut the review a little bit short, but you can obviously get the idea of what I thought of that book. However, today we're going to be talking about a book that's completely opposite, and that's Forever Evil, issue #2. Now, this book is written by Geoff Johns, and it's drawn by David Finch. Now, the cover here is quite awesome. I really like this cover. I like Ultraman. I like Superwoman. I love the way she's drawn. Johnny Quick, and you got them here against the Teen Titans. Book inside is definitely awesome. Really like the artwork inside. I like this particular page here. I love the way Deathstorm is drawn here. It gives it that evil feel to it with the extension of the torch on his head, and you get to see the little bit of sketch art in here that adds to that darkness, that little evilness that this series has to offer to you. Now, was the story any good? Yes, the story was was excellent. Was it as good as the first issue? No, but this issue I thought was good in its own way. The first issue kind of introduced to all these characters. You got to see them for the first time. You got to see what they were doing, what they were on, trying to plan to do, and you get to see all these villains run amok and things like this. And you get to see Lex Luthor, who is, who was just like, well, where's Superman? Now, in this issue, it opens up with, you get to see Lex Luthor going in this underground secret layer that he has that has all these kinds of, projects and clones that he's doing and things like that. And he runs across this, what's it called? Security guard. And then you get to see the Teen Titans in here as well. They're sitting there going, well, we gotta stop them. We gotta stop the crime syndicate. They got Grayson. We gotta rescue him because, if they keep Grayson, they're gonna find out something bad's gonna happen. And I love the dialogue between Superboy and Red Robin here, because it's like, well, he's dead, and Robin's like, no, he's not, and he's like, trust me, time to be like Superman and man up. We gotta stop him. So you get to see that in the beginning of the comic, and as the comic goes along, you get to see interactions between the different characters in the crime syndicate with Atomica and Johnny Quick and Ultraman and Superwoman, and you get to learn this particular disease that Power Man is actually, or Power Ring is actually happening here. Something's not right with him, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. You get to see some relationships between other characters that you were not expecting in this particular issue, and you're like, oh my god. And this could be the actual unraveling of the crime syndicate possibly in the future of this issue. We get to see this mysterious character here that Ultraman wants dead, and Owlman's against it, Superwoman's against it, and Alfred's against it, so they keep him alive for right now. And then you get to see this battle that I didn't like between the Teen Titans and Johnny Quick and Atomica. I thought it was really quick, kind of pointless, and it was kind of like, well, why are the Teen Titans actually in here? For what reason are they in here? And they kind of get sent into the future by Johnny Quick, which was a very forgettable scene. I didn't like that at all. Next thing we find out in this particular issue, now this is a spoiler here, is we find out that, oh my god, I'm drawing a blank right now, that Lex Luthor was creating this clone of Superman, and he has to pull the clone early, and because he needs some way, somehow, to figure out how to stop this crime syndicate. And he tests out this clone if he's functional, if he's strong enough, evil enough. And he kind of sits there and kills that security guard that Lex Luthor was working with. And you find out that this clone of Superman is none other going to be, again, spoiler, this right here. That's right, the Bizarro of the New 52. And you see the suit being revealed as well. And Lex Luthor feels, well, somebody's got to stop these bad guys. And he says this is a job for Lex Luthor. Since the real Superman's not going to be here, It's going to be me, Lex Luthor, and New 52 Bizarro. And at the end of this issue, you find out that 3 people are still alive from the Justice League, or Justice League of America, and it's just like, oh my God, I can't believe these 3 survived. And what's going to happen here at the end of the next issue of the series is going to be awesome. But there's definitely a lot more questions now than there was before, especially within the crime syndicate. You see weaknesses there already. This was an awesome book. Action-wise, it was, not that action, not much action at all. Especially if you want to count that Teen Titans scene in there with that battle. It was like so pointless. That was the one thing I didn't like in this particular issue, so it downgraded the issue for me a little bit. I'm going to give this issue I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Not really that much action, more setup. The action scene that they did have in here was very forgettable. I felt that the Teen Titans were pointless in here, but the things that you find out in here with Bizarro, within the crime syndicate, is just makes you want to read this series that much more. What made this better than the first, what made this not as good as the first issue, was the first issue was so like groundbreaking. It was like, oh my God, we got these villains here. They're destroying the prisons, letting loose out all the villains, and they're moving the actual the moon, and Lex Luthor is lost, and it's just like, it was just so like, oh my God. In this issue, it progresses the story now, and these guys are already here, and there was a couple of things that I just didn't like, but overall, the issue was good. It's a 4 out. I think it was 4 out of 5 for me, and I can't wait to see what happens. So, guys, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0, and until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off, and I'll see you guys real soon. Take care, everyone.